What is the biggest problem with Hell Let Loose right now? Is it the optimization, the lack of content updates for console, weapon balance, tank balance, or something else? Now, in my opinion, so I've been playing Hell Let Loose since it came out in early access and then heavily making content for it since January 2020. And in my opinion, the biggest problem, which if they fix this problem, it would improve the game for veteran players and for new players, and it would help keep new players in the game for both PC and console. And this was also my main piece of feedback for the game from when I played the PS5 beta version. And this problem is a lack of a tutorial. It was my biggest piece of feedback for the console version because on consoles there isn't a shooter like Hell Let Loose on console, so a lot of people will be jumping in completely blind on console and not really understanding what's going on, probably not used to the communication, the spawn system, building nodes, learning about outpost garrisons and map control. They won't have that knowledge from other realistic shooters like Squad or Postscriptum. And for PC players, again, bringing in a tutorial, it would help new players coming in that may have come from something like Battlefield, Call of Duty, to learn about all these extra mechanics and how important they are for Hell Let Loose. So then for these new players coming in, they would actually understand what the hell is going on, what they need to do, and how they can actually impact the game in a really good way. And then since they know what they're doing, they're actually going to have a good time and then stick around and maybe recommend the game to other players. And then because all these extra duties of like building spawn points, building garrisons won't fall on just veteran players, it's going to improve the life for veteran players as well. I've played games with some of my friends like Mono and Raz, where most of the game, one of us, mainly Raz or Mono, will be driving around in a supply truck for the entire game just building up garrisons because no one else is. Now my idea for a tutorial in Hell Let Loose, it can be something as simple as image slides where it tells people about garrisons, supplies, nodes, map control, something as simple as that. But ideally what they need to do is put in a large like offline training mode like Postscriptum or Squad. In Postscriptum and Squad you have various different things you can do. There's a firing range where you can choose from all the available weapons in the game, so you can practice with the weapons, you'll be able to get damage readings, learn to control the recoil, get your shots right when you're hitting long distance or moving targets. You could include driving ranges, so you can get used to driving the various vehicles in Hell Let Loose because more vehicles will be coming. We know Jeeps are coming. You could then put in a tank range as well with tank targets, so people can get used to shooting targets from different angles so they know where to hit certain targets. You could also put in a small kill house like Squad has, where people can maneuver around a close environment taking out people. You could expand that into streets from like Carentan and get people to move down streets and take out targets that pop out of windows, stuff like that. Again, that's going to teach people that targets won't just be in the street. There are windows that they can pop out from. It's going to increase their awareness of what could happen in an actual game. Then you could also have role training where the players will then choose their role and it'll put them into a certain situation maybe where it's going to teach them how to play or use their role effectively. Like engineers, it's going to tell them about building fortifications, building nodes, why they should build nodes. Anti-tank is going to show them how to use their anti-tank weapon like a launcher or the anti-tank rifle effectively alongside building AT guns and how to use AT guns. And more importantly, it should put them through a squad leader and a commander training scenario or situation where it at least tells them about building outposts, building garrisons, and as a commander, the various responsibilities, we'll say, and abilities that the commander can use. You could take this one step further and lock people out of playing the commander or squad leader role until they've completed like this separate training module for these roles, so they then know that they have to build outposts, they have to build garrisons, they have to communicate with the other squads and the commander, because you don't want a silent squad leader. And a lot of people won't want to just jump into the squad leader role playing today because they don't know about all this other stuff in the game. But again, it doesn't need to be this big in-depth training mode. It can be something as simple as image slides. But the devs, they definitely need to put in some sort of in-game tutorial or training section. Some people, I know some of you in the comments already are saying there's the field manual, but how many of you have actually read the field manual? I've never fully read it. I've looked at maybe 1 or 2 sections once or twice since I've owned the game. And when I read those sections, that information in there was out of date. So I've never gone back since there's just no point. I go into the game and I figure out what I need to. And putting in an interactive tutorial training section will be so much better than the field manual or just image slides. But image slides would be acceptable, I would say, because it'll get the information across to the new players. Let me know down in the comments what you think of my suggestions for this training or tutorial section. Do you agree that the game needs this? And do you think this is one of the main issues in the game? Let me know down in the comments below. We need to get this feedback across to the devs really. I hope they sort of do listen to the people. The game does have such a potential for like a long shelf life, even after the sequel comes out, especially if the sequel is set in a different time period, because a lot of people are still going to want to play World War II, and they can improve that shelf life by providing new players that extra information and training or tutorials so they actually know what they're doing when they get into the game. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe for more, check me out on Twitch, and thank you for watching.